So yeah, so you could feel the uneven bumping of the vehicle turning off the road and moving towards the mountainscape.
Oh boy. We haven't fixed the light yet.
No one has gone outside to fix the light, and you're moving now.
I asked. I asked ahead of time, and then Deborah came, and
Seems
conversation
dubious.
changed. So if we're on the move, then I don't think that I can switch I don't think I can fix the lights now.
It wouldn't be safe. Like, I mean, you could try to crawl up there and like get at it while the thing is moving, but no one recommends that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, then you get left behind.
Ooh.
It's moving at like 30 miles per hour or something.
25 maybe?
2025.
Yeah.
I'm gonna not do that.
Yeah.
It's one of those speeds that when
taken
you're
a
in
lot
a
of
car
risks. Has
going
the
through a
best
school
decks.
zone feels like the slowest thing ever. But if you're outside, it's surprisingly fast.
Yep. Yeah.
But
Yeah. No.
I'm the cannon fodder.
You'd just be gone if you fell off.
I don't live the scientist life.
The scientist life lives me.
Oh, look at that. I always feel like this would be the part where you break into a version of the Hard Knock Life. This is a musical episode. You're
Fit
just
your
in-
accent.
Oh my gosh, that would be so good.
I'd be quite fond if the sun were to come out tomorrow.
Oh, that would be amazing. If the sun came up
But,
tomorrow, there would be the campaign would go a whole different direction.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
We'd
this
be
would
like,
just be a
that's not the
flashback."
sun.
Yes, that would
Be
not
like,
be the sun.
These stars are not the familiar stars. That's
Without
later
number.
on.
Not gonna
That's
bet my
after
bomb
we
dollar.
come out of the caves.
Oh, yeah.
From the wrong
What
side.
year is it?
Do we have any let's see.
You notice
Scott.
that the other scientists are cursorily looking over their stuff, but people are actually in the process of packing now.
Oh, as in getting
For the
ready
hike.
to go into
Yeah,
the
like
caves.
they're collecting up like blankets, food supplies. They're packing things into boxes. They're basically making preparations.
We have a sled that we can move things
Yes.
on, I assume, that we can pull that'll carry food stores. Okay.
You have 2,
And we have how many teams of sled dogs?
none.
Damn.
Hey,
Forgot those.
Sled dogs, you're looking at 'em, mate.
Hey Yuri.
We can capture the sled dogs that keep ramming into us.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing! You ride back to the ship with like two
Conquer them.
Byaku rides like.
Oh my god.
It's only Yuri and Anthony left at the end. They're both riding an otherworldly monstrosity.
We are cat men.
It becomes
now, boys. We could act now.
So, Yuri, I must admit, we're gonna be doing some hiking, and I don't really know how to prepare the best outerwear for this. Can you help me figure out what I should be wearing? You know, stay as warm as possible. Because there's only 2 suits. Oh yeah. And you know,
God, there's only 2 suits. So that means there's only like, do the suits have some kind of snowshoe incorporated into them?
Ish. They're not snowshoes, but the bottoms have like rough treading on it, so that you can walk on ice and snow without slipping. But they're not like snowshoes. There are actually no snowshoes on board.
that also seems like an
insane.
oversight.
That's insane.
well, like
Well, I
what
mean,
he was
there are only
talking
2
about.
outside suits, so it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
Snowshoes
but
are
what
also
James
not
said-
really a
So-
thing.
What
Yes,
what
we-
James said earlier was that the snow, there's just permafrost and then like a tiny amount of snow on top. So we wouldn't need the snowshoes, really.
I will show you how to stitch additional lining into the jackets that we have, so that you can do that while I will construct additional
Pylons.
additional snowshoes.
This
Okay,
seems like a
okay.
lot of work.
Yeah,
It is a lot of work, but it is necessary.
Anthony. I'll be like, oh, okay. One moment. Let me check with Anthony.
Anthony
first,
is
see what we
upstairs
have. Upstairs.
with Scott
Okay.
in the control room where they're driving the vehicle.
Perfect. Actually,
Where they're
can
planning
talk to
on
both
who
of
to
them.
kill.
All right. I'm gonna go
Ooh,
upstairs.
they have a little chart of like.
now you know who the
It's a,
2
pi-
are going to
it's a food pyramid of the rest of the people on the ship.
Anthony and Markham.
It's like first we eat Ringo, and next to each name is the perfect dish for that person.
Right, don't eat Ringo. He got not know his body.
Anthony is Ukrainian. He is next most likely to survive in the cold without the suit.
I'm not gonna
You should
lie.
not have one.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be candid. They're probably gonna eat me first.
No,
No,
sell
no,
yourself.
don't-
sell yourself
don't say
short.
that.
No.
Don't-
We're going to pull straws.
Don't
It'll be
pat-
the unlucky
Don't
one.
patronise me, mate. Oh, mate.
We all could be eaten. Any one of us.
I look at your eyes and you patronise me with your look. You fucking posh twat.
I'm not dressing you with my eyes.
How dare you think you're more delicious than I am? You arrogant prick. I've worked my entire life to be more delicious than everyone in the room.
They're not gonna eat you. You boiled.
But but Ringo clearly barely eats himself. he both requires little food and would provide little food.
In your line of work, your skin is just like soaked with like chlorine-based like chemicals and stuff like that. You probably taste terrible.
Soaked through to the bone.
I like
Chemicals.
I like took this moment as like a I'll make cannibal jokes, and then it was just like a moment to like throw it back in my character's face. No, we wouldn't do that. And then I get indignant.
Yep. So are you gonna do this whole sewing things into the lining thing?
No, I'm going upstairs to check with Anthony
Alright.
and Scott and see what we actually have
Then-
on board before
then I'm gonna
start,
get someone
like,
else to start
going
doing it.
crazy.
Because what Yuri described to you sounds like it would be very difficult and time consuming.
Yeah, we
yeah,
don't
but
have time.
It will keep
Yeah.
you alive. We have time before we get to the mountains.
Not
Not that far from the
not that
mountains.
much time. I don't
You
know.
have a few hours, but
Yeah.
like it depends on how good your sewing skills are.
You only need to sew like a
I would
little
probably
bit.
also be doing this thing too, as well.
Or I could just
have to be
find
super
layers and layer appropriately.
Well, I'm like finding things that wouldn't normally be.
Put some layers on your feet. That's probably quite vital.
You gotta wear a load of hats.
Like there's
heat-
insulation,
heat-
there's
heat
like bunk
rises.
stuffing, there's like all sorts of things that you can like
He's
sew
a-
into lining.
He's
to
the
make it-
CEO of his own business. I'm sure he does wear a lot of hats.
Oh, look at this. I like your macabre like humor during the time. It's like when I'm nervous and death is on the horizon, I joke about things. So yeah, there's not a lot of extra clothing. Like basically everyone brought like their own outfits and beanie caps. It's not like you can find like a box of 20 beanie caps sitting there.
yeah, we don't even have jackets or anything.
Well, you have jackets. You have your own. Like you were all given a list of things to pack for yourself.
Quick, break out the emergency beanie.
Yuri's jacket is better than yours.
I looked at this list and was like,
Yeah.
this is not enough.
Like Yuri
I
Yuri
would've bring
said,
way more
Yuri
than
saw a
that.
list that said winter coat, and he brought what he expected a winter coat to be. You
It's
saw
like made
winter
from
coat, and you also
sealskin
said,
and
"Oh,
all
I
sorts
have a
of
North
crazy
Face
shit.
winter coat," and you brought that.
I was gonna say like all of my stuff is from REI.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Ringo, right, is your winter coat, is that on money?
Yeah, that's my best winter coat. I figured if we're gonna be taking, pictures and videos, you gotta be looking good.
It's very stylish.
I'm like at a loss for
You,
words.
when they find your frozen body in the waste, it will be well dressed.
Will make excellent corpse.
Yes, well preserved.
An Armani corpse.
Yeah, it's like, wow, is that Armani? Wow, he certainly died in luxury. Yeah, so
The fashion was to
the
die
scientists
for.
also all seem to have weather appropriate gear that they brought, as if they had done stuff like this before.
Yeah, the stuff I'm making is for the people who didn't pack.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, so you managed to like scare together like blanket type things. Those space blankets that are like
Yeah.
silver. There's a bunch
yeah.
of those around that
Nice.
you can appropriate.
yeah, I'll use some of those.
Nice.
And then like as a teenager in Russia, like doing hiking and stuff, we would have put together like ad hoc or like homemade snowshoes because they're not like too hard to use. You just like make a square piece of wood with straps across it, and that's like
Where are you finding this wood?
I don't know. You can find I
I
could use
suppose-
Do we
bars
have
from the bed
chairs?
frames. I could
Okay.
use like
That's
literally
fine.
anything. Yeah,
Sure. Okay.
tie them together.
You We'll say you can arbitrarily make like 3 pairs of.
They're not gonna
ad hoc
last that long.
snowshoes.
But
Yeah,
they don't need to.
in case it
They
should come
just
up.
like will save you tons of energy and time.
All right. So it doesn't sound like we really have much we can make or do. So I think we'd best just prepare yourself. Mentally. Like we gotta work together to get through this. It's gonna take.
Kind of over
whole
there,
team.
mate.
What was that?
I've kind of been preparing since the moment I first walked out and had to, throw the basket. I kind of haven't really been able to dial it back down. So I think I'm in the right headspace. So
You can tell now that the Falcon is now climbing and that there's an incline that you can definitely feel that you're heading up maybe at 20, 25 degrees. You can feel the pull. You can also sense that it's having some trouble, like the ride is not smooth anymore. There's a little herky-jerky. It's difficult to tell whether or not this is a terrain problem or if it's just the vehicle is just failing. Everyone else seems to be in a very organized headspace. They're just doing their thing, staying collected. You can see Deborah's just kind of mostly focused on the cellular stuff and less on the packing. Morty's the only one who seems like he's actually like nervous and maybe bothered by what's happening.
So if we're gonna leave the Falcon behind, might be the last time we get a chance to send anything out over the internet. Last message. Anybody got folks back home you want to send something off to? I know I do.
Wow. When like glances over, he goes, "Giving up awfully quick. You very sound like you've written us off for dead already."
It's always best to be prepared. Once you know what is dead can never die.
I think I'll leave it be. I don't want anybody to misconstrue what's going on. You send the wrong message, word spreads. People might be looking into things where there's not much of a problem.
I kind of would want people to look into this. Look for us.
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is, you don't have to, think of this too macabre right away. We could pull through this. So, and then, what is it if you have anybody convinced you're dead and then you come back? Wouldn't that be terrible?
I'm not saying there are ways it's technology. You can set it up so that it's not actually sent out, or you can cancel it or whatever. I'm just saying, if you've got anybody back home.
Okay. Well, long story short, I ain't got nobody. So.
I wandered off while
It's
you,
like
you
it's
guys
so
were talking.
All right. Where have you wanted to?
To just like some other room where
He
I'm
just
going
didn't
to
want
write up just like a detailed summary of what's happened and what samples we've taken.
Oh, you could probably find some privacy in the Med Bay area, so that we find no one's there right now.
And then I'm going to send it to my contact at the Russian government and say, if you want this,
Wow.
you need to come get it.
Okay.
And we will be in these mountains, and it is not expected
Interesting.
for us to get out until this date. But if you can make it here before then, we will attempt to be surviving as long
Are
as
you an
possible.
agent?
I mean, I know why I'm here.
Okay. All right.
I'm not actually, but I know if I don't come back with something, that will be in
Okay.
deep shit.
No, that's fair. Okay.
if there's like I see these military aspect or uses for this.
Okay. So your loyalty to your government here, you're basically you're an asset for them, and you know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. I know why they sent me.
Okay. That's
mean,
fair.
Yeah.
So you're not like, this is not like your chance to defect and like, I'm out. I'm gonna live in that luxurious American Los Angeles apartment overlooking Hollywood sign.
I'm like, it looks like we're gonna die, but if you want to come save us and get all this great stuff we have, Come save us.
Nice. Ooh, this will
Russian government.
this will bode well for your family in the motherland.
Damn.
Loyal to the end.
Probably our best shot at actually getting rescued, like maybe a month early. I don't know. It'll take a while for them to put something together.
Were you up in the control thing? You said you were going up to talk to Scott and
Yeah, I just
Kolo.
wanted to go up there and we sort of shortcutted through it. Basically,
Yeah.
it was just like, hey, what's the plan for supplies and
Oh, so when you get up there,
mm-hmm.
you see Scott on the radio, and he's basically putting out a mayday, and he's basically calling out mayday. Falcon to Nova, in trouble, running out of fuel, emergency beacon activated, that kind of thing. They see you back there. He stops talking. They all turn to you. You ask your questions. They go, "Oh, people are packing up provisions. We're gonna like move as much as we can into the caves. We're gonna try to hunker down there, and then hope for a rescue to come."
Okay.
And then they give you that impression, like, "Huh, we're done here. You're leaving now, right?"
Yep. Yeah, and then I go back down and have
Yep.
the conversation about last message to the homeland with people.
Well, also just think of it for yourself. Also, if you put that message out, you don't want to have a defeatist mindset. You know,
Oh,
because then you'll just be a dead man walking. So
Well, if you already hit the lowest you can go, there's only one way, and that's up.
Speaking of up, the angular trajectory of the Falcon has now increased again, and you can tell that it's getting harder. Like, it is really struggling to make progress now. Like, there's a lot of jerking back and forth and sudden like slippages and stuff like that you feel like you're losing progress as you're going along.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna pressure anybody. I'm just gonna write a message to my son in case something happens. That's all there is to it. If you've got family back home, I know as a parent, I would want to have something, but
Yeah, I'll write to my parents. I'm sure they would appreciate it.
How about you, Yuri? Got any family back home?
No.
You can't find him. He's not in. He's not in the main area.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
he's
right.
not here. Okay.
Idiots.
It takes a while to write all this stuff up.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of work.
I mean, all I got is fellas back at work, and they know I'm here, so figure not to distress them. So
And then there's a heavy jolt, and the Falcon stops moving.
Land ho.
like
Has it been
we
3
chose
hours?
to start moving, or it's not just
Like it's impassable.
it's
You
impact.
can't tell. Like, there's a jolt and it stops. It's been 4.5 hours since this all started.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Since we changed course and
Yeah.
started moving.
yeah, so there's been like snowshoe making, lining sewing, lab work, people packing up and getting things ready. If there's anything during that time that you guys would have done during that time, you can let me know as we're going along.
All right. Well, like I'll write it. I seem to be the only one sending him. Maybe
yeah, I'm
Ringo,
sending him.
but
Let's see
I
what
will
happens.
send or set a message to send if I don't cancel it.
Yep. So they come down. They basically let you know that at this point the problem with the angle of the trajectory is that we've lost pressure in the fuel lines. The angle is too steep, and so the fuel pump is not working as it should. If we backed off, we could probably get another hour or two of motion, but we are not going to be able to continue uphill at this pace. They pack everything up, the provisions, the food, the teacup pig. Turns out every member of the expedition has stowed away a pet. It's like, where'd that gerbil come from? I had it in my luggage the whole time.
It's like the golden compass. There are like soul animals or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Spirit animal.
Yeah.
I need to construct snowshoes for my teacup pigs.
Stupid soap. Golden compass on there. I hate Christianity so much. I'm gonna literally write a book that says Christians are terrible people.
My soul animal is a giant cat beast with living fur.
We're so cool. We killed God.
Peak cool.
You've not heard of the Golden Compass whale?
I know about the Golden Compass. Yes, I'm aware.
Every time we watch like a Lord of the Rings movie or something like that, we just go, take that Golden Compass off there. Christianity 1, Antichrist 0. Bad writing. Anyway, so.
Okay.
All right, so you guys are about to pack up and trek out. So, two things. You're all going to make unless you have a skill that substitutes, you're going to make an intelligence check and a luck check.
Survival?
Oh, yes. If you have survival, you can definitely substitute that in.
All right. Do you want to do this
For which one?
Huh?
Both?
Yeah, both.
one at
nice.
a time?
So wait,
Or like
intelligence
do one
and
intelligence
education?
first around the table?
Sure.
Okay.
Intelligence.
Yeah. Or survival if you have
So that's a 49 under 60.
it. Okay.
70 under 90?
Okay. And you actually have survival, right?
90 survival,
Okay.
yes.
This is 63 under 75.
22 under 50.
Okay.
Am I the dumbest?
You got the half.
It makes sense.
That's what the good.
You're the Michael Scott.
Better to be lucky than good.
Yep. And now the lucky.
Which is even worse for me. Come on.
That is
man.
That is a 14 under 65.
Okay.
Very lucky.
Ooh, that's under the 20% margin, right?
Yeah, I don't have
Alright.
it broken down out of here, but I believe it is.
Nope. 44 over 40, so I failed.
Ooh, unlucky.
50 under 85.
Oh. Wow, that boy band career is really
I got 7 under 90.
Hell yeah!
So,
Wow.
yeah, I
Wow.
got my extreme is 18, and I got a 7.
wow. Okay, so it seems like not only are you probably not going to be immediately starving or eaten, but you may actually have brought extra for your friends. It's like
I have hand warmers for everyone's gloves.
it's like, did you not bring hand warmers?
I brought
It's the part that goes numb the fastest. You need those.
I brought teacups,
work in
pigs
the
for
cold.
everyone.
Yuri!
Everyone. All of our problems are solved.
Snack size.
He's got a briefcase that when he opens it up, it's actually been coals that have been slowly cooking a pig the whole time as it
I
insulated.
have hot coals to put in your
Yeah,
coats,
it's like what's
everyone.
this? It's like this is my luau pig that I've been preparing ever since I got off the ship.
Is this how the Russians get down? Fuck.
Yuri had planned for this expedition to
Guys,
fail.
I did have a team of sled dogs.
I know.
It turns out we didn't look through the whole shit.
Hiding! They were under the
guys are.
covers!
Wow, that would be amazing.
Wow, I have 12 spirit animals, I guess.
No, with a 7, anything that was not like
Are you Santa Claus now?
Yeah, I have reindeer.
when in the next 24 hours when this goes down, anything short of a team of sled dogs will probably fall into that rubric.
Okay.
Who brought one robot dog? That's like, oh, his luau pig briefcase transforms into a robot dog. It's the latest in Russian alien technology.
That's where all of the expedition's budget went into.
All right, so you are all bundled up and packed up, and you're ready to go. This is going to be a trek. For some of you, it's going to be a lot worse than you ever imagined. There's no room for softness or laziness. Everyone's going to have to carry their stuff. The 2 sleds are packed with provisions, and the 4 strongest males are volunteered to pull the sled.
Am I on that list?
You are on that list.
Okay.
You and Yuri are very clearly on the short list.
My
You two
strength-
are not
my
on this
strength's
list.
only 50.
I have a strength of 40.
My strength is 60.
There was in fact almost a brief moment where, not jokingly, they actually wondered whether or not it would be fair to have you actually ride on the sled. So
So who are the other 2?
so the other 2 were going to be Scott and Kowal, but as Scott was about to go in there and step in, Wen goes, "Hey, you misogynistic pigs! How dare you underestimate the ability of women to be as effective, and she steps
No,
in.
please, if
right.
you're stronger than Scott.
Uh,
Probably isn't hard.
she does
Wrong,
not.
when?
She does not look like she's stronger than Scott, but she is very confident about her ability to pull as
Okay.
well as him.
We'll see how that gets her.
I never said that. I never said that.
She.
When blame the narrator for saying 4 strongest males.
Yep. So
This was not I.
You go anybody but win. You can't. Like pull him aside.
well, as James has reminded me over and over again, my elderly ways and my old thinking. It happened to me again this weekend. So I was like explaining when I. Oh no, it was that guy on our post.
What happened?
No, that guy on our YouTube channel who said, "Wait, James said he was in high school in the '80s. That's not possible." When he did that calculation, and it's like, there's
But,
no.
but that's like a compliment.
He said you
Yeah.
look way too. Yeah, he said you look young.
Yeah, but it's like, no, you're wrong. So, much older than you think.
It's the
All right.
That man needs
the
a
reverse.
scientist.
That's a reverse James.
Yes.
Olsen. Yeah.
That's right. It's like
There you go.
that
James old. I just mistakenly said that 44 was elderly.
twice.
Yeah.
How old are your parents?
Elderly.
Yeah,
they're
they're fairly elderly. Right?
What terrible thing happens to me since I rolled over my luck?
So
Why do you
well, you don't
assume the
know yet.
worst?
It's too soon. This is just the
Oh
tricky
no!
part.
Oh, this is.
You can
It's
have
one of those
some-
delayed fail triggers.
I have extra luck.
Yes.
You can have some.
Yeah, so this might be that moment where it turns out that maybe you didn't sew the lining in correctly to your thing, and rather than getting thicker clothing, you've just cut a hole in it.
Or it's like, yeah, I hand out to like who I deem the
Weakest.
the weakest members of our party the snowshoes I've made that
Ah.
other than the one I made for myself.
Wow, why would
So-
you give that to win?
Well, actually,
How
no.
dare you.
No,
The
great.
2 weakest should be wearing the suits.
So at this point, the
I'm gonna insist on that before we like start going, just as
Ah.
like a point of
that is kind of a
like
good idea.
survival technique. It's like those who need it the most, it should go to.
Yeah,
so at
you're
this
only
point,
as
you don't
fast
need
as
the
you're strong.
snowshoes yet because you're in this weird part where it's mostly rock and permafrost. So snowshoes would actually slow you down here because there's not that much snow.
They're made,
Uh,
which is
So they're available. They're
Yes.
on the sleds. Yes, they go. Yeah, maybe you should. There's some debate about whether or not Scott should have one of the suits.
no.
Why? Why? Because he's the leader.
Yes.
As leader, he should be most likely not to wear suits.
Maybe he should lead.
Lead by example. Lead from front, not back.
Sure. He agrees that a true manly adventurer would not have to wear the suit. Yes,
Good.
let the weak wear the suits.
Let him die.
All right.
Or imagine that the person who funded this expedition might have a suit. So
Yeah, don't frame it as weakest.
I just in terms of overall durability, I'd probably fall into the weakest category anyway.
Yeah. You have a con of 25.
You can't see my con score.
He can
right
see the
through
health
me.
bar floating over your head. It's
Bing.
already yellow at the start.
I phrased it in like a nice way, but the truth be told, I'm just like looking at him like, what's the nice way to say that he's the weakest?
Yeah, I'm like I just imagine Danny as like Bill Gates-ish. He's like tall
yeah,
and
yeah.
skinny and maybe plays tennis, but
Does not eat
wouldn't
healthy
want to go
enough.
up.
Yeah. It's like once every other month.
Ooh, do you remember those
Doesn't
cool
sleep enough.
1980s keychains that made sounds and said phrases like, "You are the weakest link"?
That 80s show,
Yeah.
The Weakest Link.
I don't
It
know.
was 90s.
When you get to my age, everything happened in the 80s.
Oh, yes.
That's how your memory works. All right, so you guys are underway. So interestingly enough, the fact that you're actually wearing these suits gives you a huge advantage because you're actually less burdened because you don't have to wear like thick pants and parkas and all that sort of thing. So you're actually wearing these suits. So you're actually fancy free and like
It's like I'm
Slobbing
wearing
around.
nothing at all.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
I want to sneak in extra
Stupid,
supplies
sexy
into
Flanders.
their bags because It's
You can carry more.
yeah. Now
I-
they can carry more.
I'll actually try and carry a little bit more to make up for it, but without like I don't want to overburden myself.
Yeah.
Because that would just hurt. You know, if I hurt myself, that'll just hurt the group more.
Well, maybe you could carry something
I-
specific that it's like not as encumbering, but still vital.
I discussed with Anthony like how much we think different people can carry, like how much we should divvy up things.
Mostly anything that's heavier and more difficult is just on the sleds.
Is on the sled, yeah.
And it's hard going because the ground is not flat and not consistent. The sled pulling is terrible. You had everything strapped on. Really, the four of you pulling the sleds are the ones slowing everyone down.
Well, like the things that are like most critical for like surviving in the cave, should we make it there? Like fire starting and like
Yep.
pots and pans, maybe even
Are
like need to
they-
be in our bags in case we need to ditch the sled. Also,
Is Deborah?
so
You can definitely keep like an emergency rationing of that sort of thing because it would be impossible to carry all of that on your persons. Like there's
of course,
just too much stuff.
but like you can carry like a week's worth or
Sure.
several.
Is Deborah leaving or taking the sample that we got?
She packed her own stuff, so you think she probably took samples with her. She did not report to you what she took.
Okay.
Everyone has like a bag of their own, which is relevant to the things that they took, and so like they have these little squarish cases that contain like scientific equipment and things like that. So everyone brought something that was relevant to their specialization.
But she left some of the living material back at.
You certainly think she must
Yes.
have. Like, you don't think she took everything. On the other hand, there was not that much of the sample. She could have packed it all away. And brought
Okay.
it with
But
her.
she did bring some of it.
She did certainly bring some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Just curious.
Is there anything specific that you want to note that you would have taken that may not be apparently obvious that you might think would have been on the ship?
I would have taken some alcohol.
Okay. A couple bottles of the good stuff.
Well, maybe not even the good stuff. Just like something, the strong stuff.
Okay. You could
the
be
stuff that'll
pretty
last.
confident Scott brought some as well. There was, in fact, you were fairly certain there was a debate going on as to whether or not it was worth bringing alcoholic beverages on the sleds as heavy as they were, and how much of it to bring.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking the strong stuff. Maybe not, instead of quantity, it's more quality.
And if you can certainly have like stash a couple bottles in your pack.
Would we have had any reason to like bring the remaining fuel?
You brought at least two, like, those fuel can things that are like that's shaped like this. You brought two
We
of
have
them.
the X on the side for some reason.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
nobody
It's
knows
like it's
why.
whatever. There's like video game markings, so you know what they
it's
are.
to mark the spot.
Yes, where you shoot to get them to explode. when
Yeah,
you-
yeah. Gotta
Which-
hit him dead center.
I love that special effect because like in real life it never happens. It's like it would just make a hole in a spear, but in movies and video games they just blow up. It's like everyone has incendiaries in their guns for some reason.
And their cars.
Yeah, that's right. The cars explode.
Okay, so that covers. Yeah, I mean, we're obviously bringing guns and flashlights.
Yep,
How
you guys
many
have those big
guns?
flashlights. You've packed rifles and things like that into the sleds and whatnot. So you're underway.
I have
People are
mine on my shoulder.
pushing along, and the first hour or so is pretty uneventful. It's mostly just wind and dark, and you're just shining lights, and everything seems to be abandoned. There's no indication that there's actually anywhere you're going. Like that, every 10 or 15 minutes, you look ahead and it's just more mountainscape. Looks like there's not much. After about an hour, Scott says, I think I see an area along the ridgeline where there might be caves. Turns, you guys turn in that direction.
Yeah, okay.
Under his breath, Ringo says, "There better be fucking caves over there."
Yeah, you're really not sure at all. And at this point, you hear the sound. And it's like some combination of wolves howling and the weird noise that Godzilla makes
Okay.
that isn't like a normal animal sound.
Right, so it's like a wolf howl with reverb?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh.
And it also seems to be coming from the cave place that Scott mentioned you guys should be going towards.
Carry on then.
Well, it's too late now.
Well,
Should ready some of those rifles.
Captain got all you wanted. Might found himself another sample.
So you actually don't have to mention it twice, because just as you're saying it, you already see that Morty and Scott have plucked rifles off of the sleds.
Do we have a flare or something?
Oh yeah.
He was able to destroy the cells. Perhaps we could use a flare to keep
So
them away.
it would be fair to presume that most everyone, if not all of you, have a flare gun on your. on your
flare guns.
guns.
Okay.
Like it's pretty clear that you guys, by default, you'll have what would be basic provisions on your persons that make sense, like some kind of weapon or some sort of the flare thing, like things that if you would not have thought of bringing yourself, the people in your team would have said, "Hey, you want to have one of these?"
I mean, do we have like a hand flare? Do we only have the flare guns?
You only have the flare gun. The hand flares are. There's
what even
fewer
are
of them,
hand
and there's only a few people who have access to them. Not that by rule, but it's just easier for people not to have carry all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're usually just for like when you need to set up a pathway or something like that, and you wouldn't just use them.
Yes, the Explorer's Pack.
Yes, most people are not carrying the Explorer's Pack. Plus, your pack has food and stuff in it.
I'm carrying the Monster Hunter pack.
Yes,
I
he has
want
both.
kinds of flares.
He doesn't just have flares, but he has a healing potion,
Some
and
garlic.
and a giant growth potion as well.
Steaks, silver bullets.
Oh, a crucifix, garlic. It's like, what's in here? It's like, oh, I'm ready for every monster type there is.
Holy water.
That would be amazing. Oh yeah, that's right. There's no holy water on this expedition. Well, that's gonna hurt. No, just kidding.
Wait, I'm a
No one
priest of
packed
the
holy water?
Flying Spaghetti Monster Church.
You hate to see it, folks. You hate to see it.
Good luck with that. All right, so you're trekking along, and let's see how is it survival? That's also is there a listen?
Yes, there is.
Oh yeah, if you're good at listening, this would be a good time to listen.
Yeah.
Should everyone
I
listen?
mean, everyone
or
has.
just if you're good?
Everyone has decent listen.
Yeah, let's.
I just have the base level of listen.
I got 71 over 70.
Wow.
I barely misheard.
I got a 99 over 25.
Oh my gosh.
I got a 58 over 25.
I'm listening to music on my headphones.
30 over 25.
Uh-oh.
Wow, the PCs are dying. All right, let's see.
Wait, none of us are trained in listen?
I am.
We
have
all
70
dead.
in it.
70 and you failed?
Yeah, they got 71.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
They're right behind you.
Someone was distracting me with like singing or a joke or something.
A large cat paw is placed gently upon your shoulder.
Mufasa?
Kitty?
Meow?
It's kneading bread.
Dad?
Too bad there's only darkness here.
Yeah, there's no light.
Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa.
Ooh.
James Lee's rolling damage.
All right.
Someone got hit.
What, you don't think I could roll a d4 for some other
No,
reason?
no.
There's four
You're
of us.
knocked 1d4 units to the left.
Yes. 1d4 clicks. You're now a mile away from the party.
Just the four of us. We can make it.
I
if
mean,
we
with these
try.
hypersonic cats, I
Yeah.
would not be
You
surprised.
and I.
Well, so there is a thump and a thud, and right away you all have noticed that a shadow has passed through your group. Couple things happen all at once. It's very sudden. You can't exactly tell what's going on. The first thing is everyone kind of looks around and sees that some people are missing. Danny, you are on the ground. You're like, it's one of those moments where like one moment you're standing up and the next moment you're horizontal. You can feel a numbness on the side of your face, and so you've taken 2 points of damage.
There's like a ringing in my ears,
Yes.
and
Snake in my boot.
Yeah, and you're momentarily stunned.
I want to fire a flare into the air as soon as possible.
All right, you react quickly, and a light goes up, and as soon as the flare goes up, like this red light bathes the area, and everyone can see Danny is like lying about 8 feet away from like where you guys were all trekking. Like his pack is kind of like loosely like by him, and then another like 10 feet past him is Morty, who's also lying on the ground, and neither of them seem to be moving.
Morty was pulling the sled with us.
He was.
Oh shit. All right.
Oh my
Ringo,
god. Oh no.
Ringo is going to go over and help Danny. Gonna
so
help
what
you out.
happens when everyone fails their
I'm
listen
gonna
check?
look
Danny.
around to see if I can see any sort of
Danny.
shimmers.
No. From where you, it seems like whatever is here is not within your line of like. You guys are shining your lights around.
Can you give me just a real quick reminder? Who are the two that have the suits on?
These two,
These two. Okay. Just
These two
just
chuckle
for
bums.
reference. These
which
jabronis.
makes Danny easy to find because unlike your packet, the suits are all whitish, silverish.
Yeah.
So
They have
they,
headlamps or something.
they have a little
They
light.
do,
that- yeah.
So my headlamps like just beaming down. I guess I fell.
It's just
did I
shining
fell-
along the edge.
Oh, I fell
the
over.
ground. Yeah.
So it's like Ringo has run over to
I am
me.
running over to Danny.
all right.
I'm gonna try to help.
You can
see if he's awake.
His eyes are open, and you can see like a little bit of blood
Danny.
splatter on the inside of his visor.
Danny, are you okay? We gotta go. We gotta go.
like swimming in this.
Yeah, you're kind of semi-stunned.
I'm gonna help him up. I'm gonna look to everyone else. Is no one going after Marty?
Not so far. Like they're kind of frozen a bit.
Someone go grab Marty. We gotta go.
Can they hear us through these suits, or do they have a little speaker on the outside or something?
They have a little speaker on the outside.
Okay.
Or Morty.
Oh, no,
not
they don't.
Marty. I'm getting everything wrong.
You can hear each other because your suits are
Ah.
intertwined.
Yeah.
No one else can
I-
hear us.
It would be reasonable that Scott and Morty would have brought like radios that pick
Okay.
up the intercom signals from your
Okay.
suits.
Okay. So they just have their radio.
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
Basically.
Someone go get Morty. We gotta go.
I'll go check on Marty.
We've got to go.
Alright.
We're being hunted right now.
Ringo, what happened? You pull me
were
to my
attacked.
feet, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I was just standing, and then I was on my side.
You got knocked over by something.
Oh my!
Bro, I'm
think
going to Marty now.
I think I hit my head or something.
hit your head,
Am I
alright.
bleeding from like hitting the visor?
You can't really touch yourself because you're in
Yeah.
the suit.
Where do I
But
feel?
you
Do
can
I feel?
definitely feel you feel like a ringing in your ears, and you can feel like kind of like a pain in your right side. So, and you could feel like maybe there's like your left eye vision is obscured a bit, but you can't really feel like where the wound might be.
Let's get you to the.
But you could definitely see blood splatter on the inside of his visor.
Let's get to Yuri, Danny. And see if he can take a look at you.
How is he, Harry?
I'm running. I ran over to him.
All right,
Where
you
he
get
said-
over there.
Yeah.
All right. So make a sanity check.
Wow, I'm glad I went after you instead of wow.
Dude, he's
Nice.
That is a 4
Oh my!
under 65.
You are the bodhisattva of horrors.
I am a crime scene cleanup crew and
Yes,
biohazard
you go.
law.
I have seen the intestines of people hung as chandeliers.
Yes, I've
I have
seen-
seen livers cut into beautiful table settings, and I am cold like the ice around
I've
us.
seen like bone fragments jutting out of walls.
Yep. Yeah. So Morty is dead. Very, very, very much so. You can see
What
that.
kind of dead is he?
So
Shit.
yeah. There's a couple things that let you know how dead he is. Number one, he is kind of folded in a weird angle. Kind of like maybe he was like someone picked him up and snapped him slightly at a 90-degree angle where the chest and the spine is.
I believe the technical term is crumpled.
Yes, and also there is a 1-inch through and through hole that like kind of like enters his chest and has come through the other side. You determine this by looking at him and also by noticing the giant pool of blood that is surrounded him.
Well, I mean, he's not going anywhere, so I'm leaving him. And
Alright.
then I'm going to return to the crew, and I yell out to Yuri, "Right, he's probably dead. He's dead, mate."
Dead from what?
It passed right through him.
Let me see.
Go
I'm
on,
gonna head over there.
Go on.
All right.
I'm gonna-
Do you want an insanity
yeah,
check?
I guess I have to make a sanity check, right?
Did you,
Or I
you-
mean, I guess as a third, as like a medical
your
doctor,
so
I'm
yours
more-
is so this is you don't have to make it because number one he's
Uh,
told you he's dead.
yeah.
Yes.
And presumably he's also kind of warned you how. So you're
I
not
said
just suddenly coming.
it went through him.
Yeah, this was not the moment where you suddenly come upon the body the first time in our shop. So yes, you see the same thing. The blood has already crystallized, and so because it's freezing. So, but yeah, you see the same thing. The body's crumpled, struck really, really hard. You feel pretty confident that he probably died instantly based on the severity of the wound.
Wow.
It's like something really fast and really heavy hit him very hard, and then there's this puncture wound, which is inexplicable.
Yuri, we gotta keep moving.
Would it? Would there be any way? I mean, I probably wouldn't be trained in forensics enough to know whether it's more like a horn or more like a projectile.
I have a bunch of forensics. Do I get beckoned over?
You can both. You would have to do a more careful assessment, because the main thing is if it's a projectile, it would go through in one direction. If it's a horn-like thing, it would go through and then have to be pulled back out.
Keep his body.
You would have to go in and have a look to.
It'd also be like noticeably smaller exit wound.
That depends on
Depends.
the length of like the spear, right? So
Yeah, I mean, if it was particularly long, it'd be pretty obvious.
right. But yeah, you cannot out here do a careful enough assessment to tell if it's through and through. You would have to like be able to cut in and have a closer look.
Do you said bring this to my attention?
Yeah.
He's gonna
Roll-
load
let
his
me-
body
What
on
is
his
your
head.
forensics?
70.
Just looking.
Make a
them
roll.
over.
See what you get.
Is this projectile or?
That is a 65 under 70.
It's
We are in the middle of a snowstorm.
not a snowstorm, but
Well,
it's
we're out here.
yeah, it's hard to tell. It's like it looks like it's probably more of a projectile, but you can't be confident.
Right. Well, if it killed him immediately, I imagine it's probably much more of a projectile than it is an animal.
You hear the howl again coming from the other direction.
I'd like to keep moving. We need to keep our eyes on the horizon.
Towards the caves, I suppose.
Where else do we go?
Yeah, we'll make a beeline.
All right. So, you leave Morty's body.
Yeah.
Who's gonna step up and take his place?
Wait, take his place. What was he
Oh,
doing?
Scott.
He's pulling the.
Yes,
it's time for
Scott.
Yeah, it's Scott's time to
Steps
shine.
up in his regal British adventurer leader role.
Oh yeah. What's the like? Is everybody else just sort of just shook up from this? Does anybody like? Is Scott's just like, I'm going to step up now that he's dead?
So Morty was the most likely to have reacted to this, but he's the
okay.
dead one.
Ringo has thoughts, but he's not gonna say it when there's like a monster
like,
coming
okay,
at
Let's
us.
go.
Now's not the time to argue about it. We gotta
Yeah.
go.
If,
How,
if-
how long does a flare last in the air? It lasts like a.
Oh, when you
fair
shoot up?
bit, Yeah.
10 minutes.
All right.
10 minutes. Yeah, so it's still up.
Yeah,
So now we might
that's
see
probably
it
a lot
coming.
longer. Let's say 5. I think 10 is way too long. Yeah.
Yeah, but it does fall slowly.
Yeah.
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 Anyway,
Where to go?
Yep.
This monsters can
How
kill.
are we pulling this thing? Because I would prefer to have like tied it around my waist and be walking so I could have my hands free.
That is your choice.
Okay.
If in fact, if you believe
I
that's the
will-
best way,
I
you
will
can
do
even
that
consult
so that
everyone
I
else.
can have my gun at the ready.
Yes.
I think I'll go ahead and I'll do that, but I don't think I have a gun on me because I don't have any experience with that sort of thing.
Morty had a gun. Now you have a gun.
I have a gun.
As you're doing this, you're thinking, oh, it's probably why Morty got snapped in two. If he weren't tied to the sled, he might have not folded that way when he was hit. Not that he would have necessarily survived either way.
No,
but
He was
yeah.
proboscis.
Oh yeah, no, he
or
was punctured.
knifed
Like
or,
yeah, being snapped in half doesn't
speared.
matter if he's.
it's unclear which was the thing that killed him first.
Does not seem likely to survive a through
That's true.
shot at. Like,
Well, it didn't
inch
pierce his
wide or
heart.
2 inches.
So it's only an inch thing. You can survive a giant projectile through your body if it
Yeah,
doesn't hit
in
a
the
vital organ.
Arctic.
Especially in the Arctic because it's cold, right? So had you immediately gotten him to emergency care and he hadn't been snapped in half, he might have made it.
Yeah, just all we needed was emergency care and not to be in this climate and several other factors.
Well,
Unlucky.
We also have to see that his HMO clears.
That's true.
We gotta have the paperwork.
These guys have money. They don't need insurance. All right, so so Scott takes up the pulling. It is very clear he's not as in shape as he leads himself to be, but he's doing he's giving the old college try.
Par for the course.
An
He's doing fine.
admirable try.
Wen has been stalwart and silent throughout this whole thing, but she's pulling her weight. Deborah doesn't seem to say anything. You can't really see her face inside her parka and hood. Yeah, and you start pulling, leaving Morty's body behind. It's mostly silent, as everyone is in their own thoughts, considering what's going on.
Keep our eyes on the horizon.
As you get further up the ridge,
Keep your ears
you
open.
hear the howling again, seeming to come from where you left Morty's body. And after about,
Good thing we didn't try and bring it with us.
in theory, you pull ahead maybe another 2 or 3 howls. You definitely hear a response howl from the direction of the caves. And after about an
What's
hour,
the worst idea? There's no other ideas.
yeah, after about an hour, you get to the ridge line, and you can definitely see that there's a slight drop off, and then a descending ridge, and there is a line of what looks like a cave structure.
All right, let's make it.
Or
in.
make haste makes waste.
We might have to fight for the space.